What is up, everybody? Happy Friday.
Oh, we made it.
Another week is in the books.
Yep.
And actually, this is the last long week.
That's true. Yeah.
Next week's a short week.
It's going to be awesome.
We are looking forward to it.
Yes.
Because I've had to put up with Sarah for a lot of long weeks. And
yeah,
we could all use a short week, I think. you know. No.
Yes.
So always important to put your phones in airplane mode when you're going to do one of these live events. That's always
true.
important.
Yeah.
Always important.
How many guest appearances?
That's right. Well, Brent, thank you for waiting patiently. I saw this pop up when we were finishing hooking everything up and sending everything out. So we absolutely appreciate you. Hope you guys had a good week. Hope you've got a good weekend planned. Oh, yeah. Sounds like next week might be a little soggy, might be a little cooler, but it's a short week.
Yeah. Well,
3 days.
We've gotten pretty spoiled with this good weather.
Yeah.
We really have.
Well, I mean,
great.
Let's talk about how nice it is out there right now.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
It almost feels like a spring day.
Yeah.
So like, I don't even know how to explain. Like there's a little chill, but the sun's nice and warm, and I don't know. I was rolling around today all the morning with my windows down.
Yeah.
It was a great day.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day to walk around. I was out actually right before here. I was out speaking with one of our customers, and it was an awesome day to be walking outside. For sure.
Right. That's right. All right.
Oh, thank you, Brent.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, buddy.
Yeah.
Brent is an incredibly nice guy, and he shows up every week. So
he does.
Thanks for showing up. We appreciate you.
Super fan.
But wait, you're supposed to be running this.
I'm
not supposed to be doing this.
Right.
What are we doing?
Let's see here. Oh, hi, buddy.
Hello, Jackson.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, buddy, how are you? Another person who likes to tune in every week.
Yes.
And he gets a little I don't know if he gets upset if we don't say hi to him right away, but he loses interest. He's got the attention span of a 3-year-old.
Yes.
So which is apt because he is 3 years old. So I mean it makes sense, guys.
It does make sense why it's
but
the case.
He does have attention span of a 3-year-old.
Yep.
Hello, Jackson. He's probably already gone.
Yeah, he's already gone. He's done. He was waiting for his hello. Yeah.
Ashley's with us. Happy Friday to you, Ashley. And all the Stain and Seal peeps out there.
Yes, absolutely.
They're all pretty good about tuning in when we do this. So we like to say hi to those guys and gals, of course.
Speaking of hellos.
Southeast Louisiana. That's got to be Fence King.
What's up?
It's got to be the Fence King.
Louisiana.
Yeah. What is up, Dan?
Hello. Welcome.
Hope you guys are faring well. I think getting everything kind of back under control, hopefully, and get all the mess sorted out. So hope you guys are doing super well down there.
Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. You got to have attention span of a 3-year-old.
Me too. Kind of depends on the day.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't say it was bad. I just said it is what it is.
On Brent, where do you think he got that? You know, is it hereditary? I'm not sure.
Yeah, Jackson comes by it honestly. I will tell you that. No, I am so guilty of having squirrel moments where it's just. I mean, you can ask anybody in the office. They're like, "Hey, did you do that thing I asked you to do this morning?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, I definitely started it, but then like 2 or 3 other things, and then what do you know? Next thing you know, it's about 3:00, and I only have a couple hours left to do today, and I haven't even got my morning stuff done yet."
Yep, I do that with conversations. I'm really bad about that, where I'll be having a conversation with someone, and then in my brain, I went to 3 other conversations and come back in a totally different place.
Yep.
And they're going, "What? How did you get there?" And I'm like, "There's a breadcrumb trail here. I promise." Yeah.
Well, talking about conversations, something I'm guilty of. I've done this morning. I do it quite often. Is you think you have a reply typed out.
Oh, yes.
And you for sure think you hit send.
Oh, you definitely sent it in your head.
Yeah. And then 2 days later, they text you. They're like, "Hey, about that thing." And you're like, "Oh, well, I had this reply ready to go. I definitely thought I sent this to you 2 days ago."
Yeah.
But,
we already had this conversation in my head.
Yeah. I'd already checked that box off in my mind.
Yes. Hello, Leslie.
Hello, Leslie.
Welcome.
Happy Friday to you.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. You know what, Leslie? You have a happy Thanksgiving. Don't. Yeah, we will, but you do too. Yep. We should all have happy.
You first.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, we got one more. Hold on.
It's just keep on coming.
Oh, I believe that.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Macy's doing the virtual school right now.
Yeah. So we live in Republic, and so Republic has gone 100% virtual. I believe it's for the next couple weeks. So that's always a challenge. Try to explain that to a 3-year-old that his big sister's there. She usually plays with him, watches TV with him, that sort of thing. But right now, it's like virtual school is strict. Like they have to be at the computer in front of the screen, which makes sense. I mean, they are supposed to be in school.
Yeah.
So, but to a 3-year-old, that's got to be confusing. He's like, "You're right here. Come play with me."
Yep.
Why are you playing on your computer?
Well, and Macy's in middle school this year, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's in 6th grade this year.
Structure.
Yeah. I mean, talk about a crazy year, right? I mean, we've got I remember being in 6th grade. Like, that's a huge transition in general.
Yeah.
It's a whole new school.
Yeah.
You've got, especially in Republic, you've got, I believe there's 5 elementary schools all coming together into one middle school. So you've got a whole new group of kids to, get along with and get to know. And throw 2020 on top of that.
Yeah.
And it's unreal. I don't know. I mean, she doesn't know any different. So that's she copes with it well. Yeah. But I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Hello, Stainless Steel
Hi.
Experts.
Happy Friday indeed.
That's right.
Awesome.
So a little good on Stainless Steel Experts. We needed some stain for a retail sale because we sell the products retail as well. So an area painter and stainer called us up, or actually shot me a message, said, "Hey, I need 6 buckets of this. I need 3 buckets or 2 buckets of deck stain." And we didn't happen to have the deck stain stock, so I reached out to Stainless Steel Experts and said, "Hey, I need a couple buckets." That was Monday, and I believe they showed up on Wednesday.
Wow. Yep.
It was lickety split. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate you for sure.
That's that customer service we were talking about last week.
Yeah, we do.
It's awesome.
We talk about these guys a lot because they do good things. I'm really impressed with them as a company and them as people. Absolutely.
I like that. Yeah. Professionally and personally.
That's right.
I love that.
All right. So let's recap last week real quick.
Okay.
Because so last week in our live, you had talked about that you were getting ready to do an on-site video, which you did, and I liked it a lot in form of an on-site news reporter.
Yeah.
So I like that. If someone missed that video, why don't you kind of fill them in on?
Absolutely. So last week we had kind of a guesstimate game going on of what we were putting up panels for. And so we were out at the Battlefield Mall, and we put up about 500 linear feet of construction panels for a local Boy Scout troop. So year after year, we've always supplied them the panels, but this year we're like, you know what? Let's do this one better. You know, let's actually set them up for them. And so we were able to do that. And I believe they're getting their tree shipment in either this week or next week.
That's right.
So they're going to have a soft opening, I believe, next weekend.
Okay.
And then they'll be good to go. And they're right there on the corner of Glenstone and Battlefield for all of you Springfield folks.
Yep. And you can't miss it. I mean, driving by that intersection, you can see that for a ways right now. Especially once they get the Christmas trees in there. Yeah. Now, do you remember? Do they do more than Christmas trees? Do they have wreaths and such?
I'm sure they do.
I can never remember. I think they do.
I can't remember either.
It'd be nice to get a nice wreath.
Yeah.
I mean, just because they smell so nice, and we could put it on our door, so that'd be kind of nice. Put it on the door into the office, and maybe have it smell a little bit nicer. That'd be because we got Sarah in there, and anything you could do to try to cover that smell.
Yeah, some days more than others for sure.
She's not the one I'm talking about. Let's be honest. Anyway,
but
so that's exciting. Yeah. So we're really excited to partner with the Boy Scout troop.
Yeah.
So what's this? Like a 3rd, 4th year, something like that.
I think so.
It's been a while.
That sounds right.
And it's always so fulfilling. So right now is, any year other than 2020, we'd be slowing down right now. So it's always kind of a nice deal to, kind of put that bow on the season to be able to go out. Yeah. They usually pick the panels up, but to be able to provide the panels and all that, it's usually a really nice bow. And even more so this year.
Yes.
We have to go out and be of service to them as they are a service to the community.
Absolutely. Well, and I mean, they've missed quite a few of their own fundraisers this year too. They do a lot of door-to-door sales, popcorn,
all
that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And especially with the strict, Walmart restrictions and that sort of thing too. They can't even really be out there either.
No. But so I was a Boy Scout back in the day, and we used to do a lot of chili cook-offs too. So, or not cook-offs, but just chili suppers, chili dinners. And I have to think that's probably not happening either. You're probably not having those chili dinner fundraisers.
Yeah.
So,
that's a good point.
This year's been hard on everybody. I mean, and I think everyone's fully aware of that. But it's been hard on them. So we're happy to be of service and hopefully help them a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what we ought to do? And I haven't talked to Sarah about this yet. So we're just going to go ahead and throw this out there live.
Someone call it breaking news.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
So we use on the computer, we use a program called StreamYard. It brings this to you live, both on YouTube.
Yeah.
And, but what we can do too is a guest can come in. We can send a code to a guest, then come in on their phone.
Oh,
and they can video chat in. So what we might do is schedule a live with you out there.
Oh, that'd be
awesome.
awesome.
Like an on-site reporter segment.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I can be here and we'll kind of plug you in and go from there. I think that would be fun.
That would be fun.
So obviously not. Well, you said next weekends are soft open anyway, and we're going to be closed Friday for Thanksgiving.
That's
so
true.
we won't be doing this next week, but maybe the week after.
Okay. Yeah.
They got trees in, and
they'd be willing to let me come hang out for a little while.
Yeah, that's right. That'd be fun. That'd be good.
Yeah. Well, and I'm gonna go get a tree there anyway. So kill two birds with one stone. I like it.
Yeah, you got it. Looks like we got a few more comments.
Oh, all right. Let's see here. Oh. There's crab. Do you?
Does an Ozark Fence team member wear orange? That's going to be I just thought of that. And that's going to be our go-to from now on.
Here we go.
That's our new, does a bear, or if a tree falls. Does an Ozark Fence team member wear orange?
They sure do.
They absolutely do. And this guy likes Dungeness crab. Tell you what, yeah. No, I do, Brent. So
awesome.
Yeah, I do. What's fun is, so I like watching Brent. So Brent's over on the West Coast.
Okay.
He's an avid scuba diver. Oh. And I mean, he's got his home all rig. He's got all the stuff you need, and he's got his own boat. So he does really neat YouTube videos of him going out.
Oh, that's cool.
Brent, I am constantly jealous of you, sir, because the lobster that this guy finds. I mean, these lobster look like they're about the size of the ones that eat the lobster that we have here. Yeah. Yeah. Ours are appetizers for them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, but to answer your question, Brent, yes.
I do have a question for you, Brent.
Okay.
There is a video going around of, I believe it's like a chocolate lab or something, and it's on this guy's boat. And this guy points to a lobster at the bottom of what I would assume is the ocean, shallow part of the ocean.
Like a reef?
No, there's no reef around it. It's it's very much like a clear bottom. And this dog jumps off the boat, goes and gets the lobster and brings it to the guy. And I want to know if that's accurate. Can I train my yellow lab to go fishing with me? I mean, obviously we're not going to get lobsters. That's quite a journey, but I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's incredible.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out. I'm like, I think
it's set up.
Wouldn't lobsters try to? I don't know.
No, well,
Brent's
gonna be able to answer this a lot better than I can. But from his videos, I am somewhat of an expert on lobsters.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Now, so I've always seen them in and around reefs because they like caves, they like tight spaces they can kind of hide in. Mm-hmm. And every time that I've seen them, when Brent's going after them, they always just try to get away. Yeah. So they always just try to scoot back. It's always in reverse, high speed reverse at all times.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Well, because
I don't know why one would be out in the open.
Now, not to
it might be set up
too much of a Midwestern here.
Okay.
But you think about crawdads, right?
Yeah.
You have to pick things up to try to find them. And you're right. They don't want to be exposed.
Right.
And they're very dirty.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe this was a Walmart lobster.
Yeah. That's one thing. It could be set up, or they could have gotten it somewhere else and turned it loose or something. Because when he's shooting his videos, he's always having to look down into the caves. Oh, here we go. Here's an answer.
Breaking news.
It's a true video. Really?
So he's probably planted it. Okay.
Around in sand. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, how many crabs would we like, Joe? Ooh, Thanksgiving? Is this going to be a new?
Well, no. I don't know that I'd use the word we, Sarah.
I'm part of the family.
It's true. That's true. Brent, I tell you what, like you were asking the wrong guy this question because my answer is like all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Literally every one of them. Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, that would be amazing. I don't even know what to ask for, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I mean, I don't know. Enough to feed. Let's say that. Well, so here's the thing. So Taylor probably can't have it just because it's seafood, right? Because of, is it mercury? Is that right?
Yeah,
mercury content.
But there's January's coming up. Josie's gonna make her debut.
Yeah, post Josie. That's right. That's right.
Oh,
I don't know.
How about 10?
I'm
imagining these crabs to be very large.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that they're little snow crabs.
No.
Like
Brent, I tell you what, like our friendship can't get any better, but if 10 of them show up, like, I don't know. Like, we're already, I feel like best friends, but like, we'll be like ultra best friends. Is there a level above best friend? I don't think so, but
you're gonna have to research that.
It's like platinum level. It's like platinum level.
Well, what do you send Brent back? Do you send him back 10 deer? Like, what do you send back to him?
Very true. Very true.
Trout? I don't know. I mean,
yeah, maybe, but
he probably gets
his
better
seafood. Yeah, I was gonna say
there,
his seafood's way better than ours.
Catfish? I don't know.
No, you wouldn't want to do that. He would never send me anything again if I sent him catfish. I don't know. Yeah, Brent, let's discuss this.
Yeah,
well, I know exactly what I'm going to send him, and I'm not going to say it.
Oh, it's a surprise.
It's going to be a surprise.
All right, stay tuned.
That's right.
All right. Johnny!
What is up, Johnny Mcneil?
Hello. So, funny story about Johnny.
Okay.
I was sitting there. I took our dad, on a little wine date, and they had a CPO wine tasting event at Mcneil. It's been a couple years. And Dad was wearing his Ozark Fence cap. And Johnny goes, "You know Joe?" We both looked at each other. I don't know. How do you know Joe? And this guy's awesome. I love Johnny. Cool
Johnny's
dude.
Such a good guy.
Yeah.
So Johnny's with Community Partnership of the Ozarks. And so he's the reason that we got involved with like the playground cleanings.
Yeah.
Because I'd reach out to Johnny and just said, "Hey, here's this idea I've got. What do you think?" And then Johnny just hooked it up. So yeah, Johnny's a really good guy. Awesome. And here's the thing, Johnny, like, we don't take praise very well. So we're going to do our best to like wrap this up and send it back to you.
Yes.
So that's absolutely what we're trying to do right now is wrap that back up. But no, thank you guys. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's in every sense of the word, they believe in partnerships.
Yes.
So, and that's how I view our relationship is it's a great partnership. So Johnny, thank you for being such a great partner.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for all CPO does for our community.
Yeah, absolutely. Golly. You know what we ought to do? So we're in the process of figuring out like a new studio situation. Sure. It's not like next week. It's coming, but not on the next few weeks, maybe next few months. Yeah. But if we get a bigger studio, we ought to figure out if we could do like a 3-person.
That'd be awesome.
And I think Johnny would make a really good like inaugural guest.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. So right now, literally, so what you guys see on screen is pretty much the studio. There's another, I don't know, there's another 4 foot this way and 4 foot on that way on the outside of the screens. Yeah. Would you say that 4 or 5 foot thereabouts? Yeah. There's not much room to spread out here.
No.
Not much room. And that 4 or 5 feet is taken up. It is, it's full. So, but the spot we're looking to expand into is larger. Yeah. So, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
So we should should create a space that can have multiple people, 3 to 4. That way we could bring 1 or 2 guests on, and Ask a Fence Gal Friday could turn into the Fence Gal interviewing other people.
I like it. I like that.
Look at this. We're creating ideas live.
I like having like a community interaction.
I do too.
Portion of this. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So community partnership. I mean, I'm sure they could speak on so many of their organizations that they partner with.
Well, I was going to say, last I knew they had a new and exciting venture happening to help the homeless population. Yeah. So I would love to hear how that's coming along and all that. That's super exciting.
Yeah, we need to do that. We really do. Awesome. So,
all right, Johnny,
we're going to reach out to you like when we start figuring out this new studio situation, and you will be our inaugural guest.
I love it.
Like that a lot. Boom. All right. Who else we got on here?
Oh.
Did you get a new fish, Joe?
Oh. Did you have something mailed to you maybe at the house? I don't know, Taylor. Did you get a new fish?
Did I get a new fish?
Well, the yellow one. That was somewhat new. New to me.
Yeah. So we've got a saltwater aquarium at the house, but all the fish in there have been in there for, Gosh, at least a month. I don't know. Now I'm perplexed at what I might have gotten at the house. It's a fish.
So the blue one,
maybe fish supply.
The blue one was a dory fish, right? But I can dory from Finding Nemo. It was like a blue tang.
It was a powder blue tang. Yeah.
So what is this one? Is it powder yellow tang?
Nope, it's just a yellow tang.
Oh,
just a yellow tang. Yeah, the reason you got powder blue and powder brown. Okay, here we go. There's a box. It's supplies. So it would be cool if it was a fish. I like getting fish, but no, this is an algae scraper. Oh, we've got algae growing on the tank. Yeah, not nearly as much fun as the new fish, believe me. But
yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's talk about a little bit about what's scrolling on the ticker below.
Yeah. So we've talked about it the last few weeks. A Sporting Chance, which is an organization that I'm involved in. They're having Bass Pro Raffle tickets. So you have 12 chances to win, and the prizes are from $100 gift card to, I believe the last one's $1,000 gift card. So each ticket, so if you buy one ticket, your ticket, even if you win the first one, it goes back in the pool to be drawn for the other 12 days. So you have 12, even with one ticket, you have 12 chances to win, which is really cool. And each ticket is $10. So it's incredible. It's also important to mention that it's for Cabela's as well. So a lot of places don't have a Bass Pro and Cabela's. So either or. It can also be used online. So that's an important part too.
That was my biggest takeaway when we were talking about it at first, is you can use it online at their catalog. So
absolutely,
even if you do have a Bass Pro Cabela's in your area, but if you're not comfortable with going out in large groups, which is understandable completely. So you can still use that online and have it shipped in.
Yeah. So that's super exciting. I still have about 30 of them left. So let me know if you'd like one. I have been sending them in the mail as well. I've got a couple friends that live out of town. So they would just Venmo me, and then I send them the tickets and fill out their portion. So very hassle free. Yeah,
we'll make it work.
Yeah.
If you want a ticket and you'd like to help support Sporting Chance, we can absolutely figure out how to make that work.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about Sporting Chance in the past, but suffice to say, they're important to us.
Yeah.
So we'd like to help however we can. If you'd like to help, please reach out so they can send us an email, or message the Facebook page. It comes to both of us.
Yeah.
Drop a comment in this, and we'll reach out to you. However you'd like for us to reach out to you.
Yeah.
I say us, it will be Sarah. However you'd like Sarah to reach out to you. Let us know.
Well, and I did have someone too that isn't a huge avid outdoors person.
Okay.
Per se. And so they wanted to donate their raffle ticket. They said, I'll give you $10. Let me send you $10 and you donate it to someone that may not have had the opportunity to buy one. Said,
there you go.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. I love that idea.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Now, when is the cutoff?
So the very first drawing is December 1st. So we've got basically until Monday.
Okay.
Until Monday, let me know.
You said they go for 12 days?
Yes.
Right. So it's one a day for 12 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But it's not, so it's not every single day. It'll say it on our Facebook page. It has the days that they pull them. And so, yes, you're exactly right.
So, I should have been more clear. Not 12 days in a row, but just 12 days through December.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
And even, so the cutoff's Monday, but I can even send a picture of the number. So they'll have the actual filled out part.
Sure.
So even if you decide Monday, hey, I'd like to participate, totally fine. I can give you your numbers.
Okay.
So and they'll have your name and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah. So suffice to say, if you guys would like to help us help Sporting Chance, we'll figure out a way to make that happen.
I love it. I love it.
All right.
So what about your section here?
Yep. So this is Wingapalooza booklets are on sale. So I'm actually wearing my very nice Wingapalooza hat today. So it just happens to be orange, and I like that. But no, so Wingapalooza booklets are on sale. They've been on sale for a little bit, but restaurants started accepting them on the 15th. Awesome. So we're about 5 days into this. Yeah. And it goes through the end of the year. So it goes through the rest of November, the entire month of December. And what it is, now it varies depending on which restaurant, but each restaurant, say one restaurant will have 4 free wings. Another one might have 6 free wings. There's a couple restaurants that don't offer wings on their menu, but they like to participate in Wingapalooza. So like one's a free queso dip, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Basically what it is it's a win-win-win. And so how so? So it's a win for whoever buys the booklet because the booklet's $30, but the value in this booklet, if you add up how many wings and how many sides, the value is like more than double.
Wow.
Like
that's awesome.
There's a lot of value in here. And we did that intentionally so that because we understand that not everyone's going to be able to go to every restaurant in the booklet. So we still want there to be enough value in there to where even if you only go to half the restaurants, you still feel like you've gotten the value. So that's the first win is when you buy a booklet, you get a win in value.
Love it.
The second win is it goes to help our area restaurants.
That's
because
true too. That's a good point.
So the first part of this year, I mean, they were stuck. They were shut down for the first part of the pandemic completely. And then slowly but surely they're allowed to open, but without seating and with delivery and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, the restaurants have been hit hard this year. And so this is another way to try to help, because let's be honest, it's 4 free wings at said restaurant, whichever restaurant. But I mean, the restaurant knows if you're going in, you get 4 wings, you're probably going to buy a side and buy a soda. Sure. And so you're also going to help out that restaurant. You're going to help out that server because you're likely going to tip the server.
That's true.
It's helping the restaurant industry as a whole in our local area who could really use some help. Yeah. The third win is it helps the area charities that we support.
That's awesome.
So we like supporting area children's charities. Boys and Girls Club is one of the big ones, but also Diaper Bank of the Ozarks. We help out several of the organizations in that partner with Community Partnership of the Ozarks.
That's awesome.
Our mission, our local mission, is really children's charities. The national mission of Sertoma is hearing health. So we also work with them on that, whether it's through giving them grants and donations, that sort of thing. So it's kind of a joint mission. The local mission being children's charities, the national mission being hearing safety and hearing.
I like that.
Yeah, hearing health is the right term for that.
Hearing health.
Yep.
I like that. Well, and I like that, when I go to Wingapalooza, I always really enjoy it, but I get full so fast.
Yeah.
That I can't try all the wings. So I love this idea where you can do it at your own pace.
Yeah, because one piece of feedback that we do get pretty much every year is that, I mean, there's a lot of people that show up. I mean, 4,000 to 6,000 people show up to this event. And so the lines get long. Yeah. And so people don't like waiting. I don't blame them. I'm not a big fan of waiting in line to get, a few samples of wings. And so that's kind of how we viewed this as a win also for the booklet purchaser, is that they don't have to stand in line and really only sample 2, 3, 4 restaurants. That you have a month and a half. That's awesome. Hitting these hitting each of these restaurants isn't crazy. Yeah. So you could really at your leisure, if you used it every afternoon for lunch or one lunch, one dinner, that sort of thing. You could really do it at your leisure. But to your point, you absolutely get to sample more wings than you would in the in-person Wingapalooza.
I like that'd be kind of a good appreciation gift, like to gift coworkers or a supervisor, that sort of thing too. Because you're exactly right. How easy would it be just for lunch, twice a week to go and use that? That's cool. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, like I said, it's through the end of the year.
That's awesome.
So we still got time. Now, do we want to get back to a traditional Wingapalooza? 100%.
Oh yeah. I
mean, Wingapalooza itself is an event that people look forward to because they get to see people they haven't seen in a while. Yep. It's a nice event. Yep. It also obviously a bunch of wings to sample that are from some of the best restaurants in the area, live bands, that sort of thing. I mean, it's a nice event. Fun. And the overall thing that makes everyone feel good is it benefits area charities. So, we generate 6 figures in these events and we donate it all. That's awesome. We run the sponsorships for the events typically cover the cost of it. So the money that they're paying for the entrance, for the shirts, goes to the charities. Awesome. Yeah. And then the booklets are set up in the same way this year.
Okay.
So the sponsors have supported the cost of the booklets, and some redemption costs with the restaurants, that sort of thing. So the money spent on the booklet doesn't go towards overhead. It goes towards the mission.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, it appears we're not the only one that likes Wingapalooza.
Fintel.
Hi, Travis.
Hello, Travis.
Oh.
He's out in the hunting woods, I believe.
Oh,
now, he might still be there. Maybe he's watching us from a tree stand right now.
I bet he's wearing orange.
I bet he's wearing Ozark Fence orange. You better believe it.
That's awesome. Travis was part of our group at one of the trivia events.
Oh, okay.
You guys put. I think that one might have been sports trivia, and we did not
do
so well at that
one.
Yeah,
so we did a few Sertoma trivia nights. Yeah, the one was very much sports centered.
My favorite was that particular year. Travis helped type up the PowerPoint, and turns out maybe there were a couple errors, and it was not it was not taken lightly by several of the teams. I felt very bad.
Well, here's the thing: is many of the teams were Sertomans.
Yes.
And like ours was, I'm a Sertoman, but I brought like Ozark Fence. And so if nothing else, Sertomans like to give each other a hard time.
Oh, and they did not hold back.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, if you see a weakness or a mistake, you pounce on it and you make sure everyone understands it. Yeah. So that's a lot of what was going on there. There's a lot of kind-hearted jeering. Maybe.
Oh, yes. There's lots of that. But Travis took it like a champ. It was a good time. Awesome. All right, Mr. Chad
Johnson. I heard you, Joe. I heard you're an excellent golfer. Well, that might not be true. From a fence builder in Yates Center. Oh, okay, Yates Center, Kansas. He's telling me about golfing at Grand Lake, I believe. Yeah. So what that was, so the American Fence Association had a chapter event over in Oklahoma, Grand Lake in Oklahoma, and so in part of that, so the dinner Friday night was a dinner, and then the chapter meeting.
Oh, cool.
And then Saturday was the golfing, but it was
a social.
Social, but it's also a charitable. So
cool.
donations went towards a charitable cause for the AFA, the Midwest AFA. So
very cool.
But he told you wrong, because now I have a good time golfing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I am not good at it. So it is what it is.
In fact, I remember a time, it's been a couple years, I went with you and J-Dub DeLong.
Oh, yeah. We went over to Island Green.
Yeah. They gave me my own cart. Looking back, great decision. Because I, as well, I'm not a great golfer, turns out. I am there to drive the cart, to enjoy a beverage or two.
Sure.
And the beautiful weather.
That's right.
And on one particular point, you guys were very adamant that my ball was to go back on the green. You said, you know what? Like, you need to hit it back there. I couldn't see the flag. And so I'm like, so the flag's over here. So why am I going back over here? Sorry, I guess I should do this. The flag was here. They wanted me to go this way. And I was like, no, if I just hit it through those bushes and over that tree, it'll be closer.
Yeah.
That, I believe, is when you guys left. And
Could be.
I had a great time. It was more like a parkour golfing, I would call it.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. I had a great time. So you're right. I don't know that anyone. We also got in trouble by an older group that were taking golfing very seriously.
Yeah.
And they're very adamant to pass us, which was fine.
But we invited them to pass us.
Yes.
But they still anyway.
Yeah. Free golfing lessons.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
But I don't think good golfing runs in our family.
No, but we do enjoy it.
We do have a great time.
So Chad, you tell your source that while I did have a good time with them golfing, that I'm not a good golfer. So please don't tell everyone, because people might come to expect that.
That's true.
Like next year at the AFA, like if they do golf again and someone expects that, they will be sorely upset.
Yeah, or if you get offered a pro-am tournament.
Well, that'd be a mistake. That would be a big mistake. While I'm a good fence guy, I am not a good golf guy. No.
And I think it's important to know.
I don't know that fencers
skills.
are particularly known for their golfing prowess.
I'm kind of thankful for that.
Yeah, right.
I'm glad that is not something that I need to live up to.
Right. Who
likely not going to happen.
Who could stand up to that kind of pressure? So
exactly.
That's right. All right, so we basically talked about everything except for fence on this fence show. So we talked about the weather, weather show. We've done shout outs. We're a pretty big shout out show.
Yes, we like to hang out.
We've talked about sporting chance raffles and Wingapalooza. So we're a pretty big community reach show.
Yep.
Maybe we get to fencing. I mean, maybe this could be a fencing show.
Let's
you never know. Things could get crazy. So tell me about the week. How'd the week go?
Week went okay. Yeah, we had a couple one situation where we really just need to get a surveyor out there.
Yeah.
And home was just purchased, so the homeowner himself hadn't been out there either, and it just kind of became a concern on where one of the property lines was with the neighbor. So we all decided to take a step back, have a professional surveyor come out there and mark the property corners.
Yep.
So that that left us a little more time. So we were able to be flexible, and with next week being a short week, we were able to actually move one of the projects from next week to this week, which was great. It's awesome. They're really happy about it. They have 2 big old dogs that are going to be very appreciative of that.
Good.
So everything else went really smooth.
Sure.
We had some tear out that we did. one thing that I think is kind of a comical part of the job is that when we tear out, we also leave that out in case people want to reuse the fence panels.
Which is incredibly common.
Yes. Because we started throwing it away and people were very offended and were actually asking to get into the dumpster to get that fence
the fence out of the dumpster.
Yes.
That's right.
So we started kind of letting it be up for grabs after we do that. Yep. And it is incredible at how fast it goes. I mean, within 30 minutes of it being put in the spot that we put it in, it's gone.
Of several 100-foot of fence.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really crazy how fast that fence goes. Yeah. I mean, and it's free. It's free for whoever, there's no cost, but there's also no holds.
That's true.
So we're very clear about that. Like, while, it is free, we won't save it. No. There's no, I'm going to come back for it later. It probably won't be here.
Yeah. Good luck.
So, but and we talk to folks. So sometimes folks come in the office and ask, "Hey, are you sure it's okay if I just take this fence?" Like, yeah, sure. So what are you doing with it? It's a little bit of everything. Yeah. So, I mean, birdhouses is pretty common. Yep. Rustic looking birdhouses. Toy boxes come up from time to time.
That's true.
It's just kind of a wide variety of things that people do with it. And some people are fixing a fence.
That's true. They just have one section.
Yeah, I have a fence that has, several pickets missing or several pickets that need replaced. And I don't want a new picket because it would just look weird. Yep. Yeah. So, they'll take a few pickets off one of the panels, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But, Yep. So we had plenty of tear out for them to go through. It was gone quickly. Like I said, within a half an hour, 200-foot of fence just disappeared.
Yeah. And you could see, like the calls being made and people were just stopping and helping load. And it was pretty incredible.
It's like a bird call goes out. Like so it didn't happen this time, but a lot of times so the truck will pull up to the curb and the guys will be unloading it. And like, as they're unloading it, cars and trucks will pull up like, hey, you just throw it on my truck or my trailer or, you see some funny stuff though. Loading techniques, we might call it. Oh yeah, very little straps are ever brought. No, the scariest one was some people that put a panel. So thank goodness it's just one on the roof of their car. Sure. And then the passenger held on.
Oh no.
And then the driver held on, and we asked him, we said, far? No, just around the street or just around the block. Like, okay, well, I feel like from our standpoint, I have to tell you not to do this. And this is a very bad idea and it will probably fall off. Yeah. Please don't do this. And they said, okay, as they drove away. Yeah. Anyway. Yep. You see some things. You see some things. But so generally though, it's like a bird call goes out because people just flock to and people call in the office. But it's always hit or miss when folks call in because even yesterday when if someone had called in that morning, would have been no, there's no materials out there. Yeah. And then 20 minutes later, our truck could pull in and start unloading fence panels, and then they're gone 30 minutes after that. And then that person that called that morning is pretty upset. Yeah. Well, my buddy got fence panels. Why didn't I get fence panels? Well, they weren't here. Yeah. We don't do holds. We don't do come get it later. It's free for a reason.
Yep. That is exactly right.
Yeah. So we had a bunch of removal. Let's talk a minute about surveys. Okay. I don't know that we've spent much time on the channel talking about surveys and how important they are. So in this particular situation, you had gone out there before. You'd gone out there initially and looked at it, and it was pretty clear where that fence line was to go, more or less. When you do fencing for a while, you start figuring out kind of landmarks of where the property lines probably are, and you can pull up the Greene County GIS. So that's Greene County's assessor's map of where plot map of where the property lines are. Yep. And so you can compare that with the landmarks you see and have a really good idea. Yeah. But in this case, the neighbor kind of questioned whether that was accurate or not. Yeah. In which at that point, the best course of action is just have the surveyor out.
Absolutely.
To mark the corners. Now the surveyor we use, it's not a full blown survey. A full blown survey can be $1,000, $1,200 thereabouts. Yep. Our guy marks all four corners, and so, but he doesn't. It's not a full blown survey with a new map and with registered with the county.
Yes.
But that's really what we need. Yeah. We just need to know where the corners are. Yep.
And they're able to string line it. And
he brings the equipment out, and this equipment is impressive. Like it's a satellite stick is kind of what I call it. So it's literally just a stick with a satellite dome on top of it, and that thing. So he'll put it in, and he'll read I'm a fence guy. I'm not a survey guy, so I don't know how this exactly works, but it's basically magic, and where it tells them exactly where this stick needs to be, and it's accurate, like within fractions of an inch or something. Like
he's
nuts.
Amazing. Yeah.
And so he comes out. Either him or his brother comes out, and it marks all 4 corners. Yeah. So that's the plan of action here.
Yep.
Is that way now? Is it going to be right around where we thought it was going to be? Probably.
It's likely.
But it's peace of mind. Yeah. Right. So it gives our client the peace of mind of knowing that a licensed professional surveyor was out, and he also agreed that this is exactly where this line is. It gives the neighbor peace of mind that was done also. So
absolutely,
from that standpoint, it's worth it. Yeah. Is there an additional cost to it? Yes. But for the peace of mind, it's always worth it, especially if you don't have a very clear idea where that property line is, because we're not licensed surveyors.
Correct.
We can give an opinion on where we think it is, but ultimately, if there's not a licensed surveyor involved, if there's not pins, that fence could end up getting moved.
That's very true.
Ultimately, it's up to the homeowner where they want the fence installed. And it's happened before.
Yeah.
It's happened before to where the homeowner is very adamant that the fence line goes from that old hedge post up to the mailbox, and that's just where it's always been, and that's where it's going. And then the neighbor has a survey done, and lo and behold, that's not exactly where that's not where it goes. And the fence has to get moved. So, having the corners marked is expensive, not as expensive as a full survey, but it is expensive. And I mean, not expensive, but there is a cost to it.
Sure.
It's how much is it?
It's $400.
Yeah. $400. And I guarantee you it will be more than $400 to move that fence.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, so it's all about peace of mind. So in this case, everyone, you guys talked about it, and everyone kind of agreed that it's worth it to try to do a little bit of homework, delay the project a little bit, but everyone knows exactly where that property line is.
Yep, absolutely.
And it's a service we can generally offer before the project too.
Yep.
If you're out, we've talked about this several times. If you're out and no one's really clear on where that is,
it's always a good idea.
Usually we'll call it in to where that'll be done prior to the fence going in.
Oh, yes.
So that we can see property corners. We can step in. We like to step in 6 inches from a property line.
Yep.
Incredibly important.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it'll be really interesting. This one backs up to a cul-de-sac as well. So the lines aren't quite, the lines just aren't quite as apparent.
Well defined.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So it'll just be good. It'll be good for everyone. And it's a new home to them. And so it'll just be really good to be able to understand that.
It's a good first start.
Yes.
It's
absolutely.
Good first step. And that's important because they're just getting to know their neighbors too.
Yes.
So they don't want to start that relationship off on a wrong foot.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Because, it's like I say on my YouTube channel, good fences make good neighbors.
That's true.
So if it's done right and everyone's happy, that fence can lead to good relationships.
Yeah.
If it's not done right, it can lead to not great relationships.
Very true.
We deal with both. We deal with friendly neighbors and unfriendly neighbors.
Oh, yes.
So anyway, what else is going on?
Well, another important thing I think it's worth bringing up is how important it is to get your HOA involved in the fence construction.
Yep.
So
before the fence goes up.
Yes, absolutely. Please before the fence is up. A lot of the HOA requirements are not uncommon. It's, it can only be 4 foot tall. It can only be 6 foot tall, where it can go on the house. So some HOAs will say that you cannot put it more than halfway up the house. So they don't want it to block, any sight. Yep. The biggest one I hear is that one. It's kind of where you can place it. They just want a drawing to make sure that you're going to meet those requirements.
Sometimes it's style.
Yes.
And materials.
Yep. Sometimes they want a shadow box fence. Sometimes they just want privacy. Sometimes they really don't care. They just want to know exactly where it's going to go.
Well, and sometimes they have a specific, so sometimes it's ornamental iron or ornamental aluminum one, and they have a specific style that they want.
Yeah.
There's neighborhoods in our area that are like that. They call it for a very specific type and style of ornamental fence.
Yes. So it's always, especially when it comes to something like that, where it's a product you have to order in, it takes 4 to 10 weeks, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Always good to just have their approval before, because it kind of becomes a little more difficult when we either already completed the project or in the process of completing it. So it's always just important. And that's really the only thing that falls on the homeowner as far as what needs to be done. Only because the HOA doesn't want to talk to me. I always give them my contact, and sometimes they have questions.
Sure.
But they want to hear from the homeowners that they represent, and
yeah, we always make ourselves available. But the relationship that's already been established there is between the HOA and the homeowner. So a lot of times they'll want to deal with the homeowner first, just so that there's no misunderstandings, on what's expected. And sometimes HOA has questions that a fence company couldn't answer in regards to the property.
Yeah.
So, we provide, a detailed proposal with a drawing. Yep. That way that can be taken to the HOA with our contact info. So that if there are any questions, we can answer them to the best of our ability and go from there. But yeah, it's absolutely, when we give the proposal, that's the best time to reach out to the HOA.
Yes.
And I mean, the thing is, the question comes up, well, you guys don't know what my HOA requirements are. I couldn't begin to guess how many HOA or POAs there are, inside our service area. I'd say probably over 100.
Well, a lot of them have amendments as well.
Right.
So it's hard, even if we were able to do it online, which is pretty uncommon. I'm not so sure that that's the current version.
Yeah, we went through that with a community here in the area last summer, the summer before. They wanted a wood fence. They wanted a 4-foot tall solid fence, and we built them in this neighborhood before. They met and the homeowner had a copy of the covenants and restrictions, but that wasn't the current covenant and restrictions. So we got the post set. So it got approved. They got the post set, and then someone from the architectural committee came out and said, no, that won't meet the current covenant and restrictions, and so we had to stop. And come to find out, it had to be a 4-foot aluminum fence. Ooh. And so we had to remove some posts, and then we had to order new material. So that delayed the project 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Yeah. And, no one's happy about that.
No.
No one wins in that scenario. So sometimes that's, which, that example probably isn't applicable to what you're talking about, because this homeowner did reach out to the HOA and submitted it, and it came back approved. Mm-hmm. So, so sometimes there's some confusion maybe within, and this is a large community. So I'm sure the board's substantially large. And so there's probably miscommunication on the board as to what was and wasn't allowed, because someone could have looked at their proposal and, they could live next to one of these other houses that we've done this exact fence type and style, and said, "Oh yeah, they've got it right next door."
Yep, doesn't matter.
Wasn't applicable.
Yeah. So. Yep. Always good to double check.
Yep. HOAs are big. Check with them. Yeah.
Yep. But so this next week we have a short week coming up.
That's right.
Luckily we've got a project where we've got 3 neighbors involved, and those are always fun.
Yeah.
And just awesome. So that we're gonna complete those. We're gonna change things up a little bit. Since we are closed Friday, we're actually gonna set that Monday and then finish on Wednesday afternoon. So that way they're still able to have it before Thanksgiving. But yeah, so we actually started a project today that we'll finish on Tuesday. So we we shook things up a little bit.
Yeah.
But having Wednesday as a flex day really helped with that.
Sure.
It was really awesome.
Yeah, those we talk about it almost every week, but having those flex days really makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we've got a fence question. Hello, Jordan.
Jordan,
come on.
This started out as a serious.
I was very excited.
Hey, you know what, Jordan? We're going to answer this as if it were a real fence question.
Okay.
So, do we do fences around ponds, Sarah?
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, we do. So they're typically not fishing ponds. They're typically lagoons.
Well, unless you have a pond in which you don't want others to fish.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe so.
That's true.
I do not.
No,
I have a turtle pond.
But we have done fences like around lagoons.
Yes. Yep.
Lagoons and water retainage basins.
Yep.
Yep. So to answer your first real question, yes. And then, are we going to ignore the joke about Skrillex dropping the bass? Yes. We are.
But as always, thank you for your comment.
Yeah, thank you for your participation, Jordan.
Oh, yeah. We did one actually out in your neighborhood where the customer backed up to one of the beautiful, I'm almost going to call it a lake. It's like a miniature lake. Like,
it's pretty good size.
Beautiful. But where we did wood in the front and then they wanted 4-foot ornamental in the back so they could view.
They have the view.
You know, that. And I was like, that's kind of a cool idea. I love that.
Yeah, and so in our neighborhood, it used to be that 6-foot shadow box was the standard.
Okay.
Everyone kind of understood it or thought they understood the covenants and restrictions to say that it needed to be shadow box, but then kind of find out it did not require shadow box. It encouraged shadow box. So that's changed a little bit.
Okay.
It's still 6 foot tall, with the one caveat being if you back up to one of the ponds, then you can have a 4 foot, and it can be ornamental. There's not the requirement that it be ornamental, but they will allow exceptions for ornamental. Because I think there's a few more fences in there where one of them is the one backs up to it and it has a 6 foot wood fence, and then another one has a 4 foot wood fence, I believe. So, so that's probably important to note too, is that sometimes depending on the situation, HOAs will issue variances.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
So there's other neighborhoods that we've done work in that require like a 4 foot shadow box, unless you back up to the edge of the boundaries of the neighborhood. So whether that's usually it's woods, sometimes it's another neighborhood, but if you back up to the edge of the neighborhood, you're allowed 6 foot.
Okay.
So you can do 4 foot on the sides and back, and then it'll ramp up to like a 6 foot across the back.
Awesome. Yeah. Oh, that's good to know.
That's right. So it's always important to check with your HOA. And because the covenants and restrictions that you have might not be the most up to date, they might have been the most up to date the realtor could find that were, publicly available, or they could just be the covenants and restrictions that the previous homeowner had and left behind for you, but they might not be the most current.
Yep, absolutely.
Check with your HOA. Most HOAs have an architectural committee that their sole job is to approve or amend plans for construction.
Now, sometimes those boards don't meet but once a month. So it's always important to get that to them as quickly as possible once you want to move forward with your project. Yeah,
that's going to depend on the HOA. So our HOA meets regularly, but there's an email address you can send you can send an architectural review to, so that you don't have to wait. If you submit it the day after the board meeting, you don't have to wait until the next board meeting rolls around.
Yeah.
So reach out to them and just say, hey, I'm planning on building a fence. What's needed? What do you guys need, or would you like to see, in order to help me through this process? And the thing to understand is HOAs are typically comprised of other homeowners in your neighborhood.
Yes.
So they get it, and so they're HOA board members are people too.
That's true.
But that is true. So just reach out to them and just say, hey, here's what I'm planning to do. Here's how I'd like to do it. What do you guys need to help me either get it approved or amend my plans, that sort of thing. And they'll typically let you know pretty quick.
Yep.
All right. We have, what else? Yeah, that's the truth. So Mark says city codes can change without knowing. I read these questions even though they're up on the screen. like I don't know what that is.
Kind of like a teacher quality.
I'm gonna keep doing that just because. I mean, everyone. I understand everyone out there can read, but anyway, Mark's got a great point. City codes can change without knowing.
Yeah.
So in City of Springfield, there are codes about how fence is to be built, how tall it can be built, whether it's in the backyard or the front yard is different.
Yep.
What it can be made of. Actually, so the city code, I don't know, I don't think there are restrictions on what the fence can be made of.
No, as long as it's 50% open in the front yard.
Right. Yeah. So that's where I started going with that. But but they don't specifically say that it has to be constructed with chain link wood.
Correct.
And so the front yard has the 50% open stipulation, but you could do that with a wood fence by having it picket. The spacing on the picket would just match the width of the picket for a 4-inch, if you're using a 4-inch picket, then you space it 4 inches.
Yeah.
Chain link obviously meets at 50% and open by a large margin. Yep. So does an ornamental aluminum or steel. So while they don't say specifically what materials you can use, they do usually have requirements.
Right.
The biggest thing we get into is the height of the fence in the backyard.
Yes.
Everyone wants an 8-foot tall fence. And I get it because houses are taller.
Yeah.
The house behind us is a 2-story house. So would I like more privacy in my backyard? Sure. But, and we live in a republic. So, Republic has similar stipulations, but City of Springfield has some pretty clear restrictions on how tall the fence can be. And, so if the fence is 6 foot or less, there is a permit required, but it doesn't cost money, which that's a whole other thing. Is Springfield's one of the few communities that when they do require a fence permit, doesn't charge for it.
Yes.
There's others out there that do require a fence permit, and they do require a $50 fee or something to that effect, or really more.
Anywhere from 25 to 125.
Yeah.
That's what I see.
Yeah, depending on the community.
On what community you're in.
So if it's 6 foot or under, 6 foot or less, you do have to get a permit just so that they want to see a drawing and make sure that the fence is in the backyard, that's not in the front yard.
Yeah.
And make sure the height requirement is met. If it gets over 6 feet, that's where things start to get a little bit more restrictive, as to how the fence is to be built, what other documents the city would want to see, whether it's engineered stamped drawings, that sort of thing, whether it's inspected as a structure, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Things get a little bit trickier when you get over 6 feet on a residentially zoned property. So, but yeah, to Mark's point, like that can change pretty quickly, and that they don't need to notify you either. So, a fence company. So I like to check 2-3 times a year. It's always online. It's always on their website. So I can pull it up and see what the current, building codes and restrictions are in relation to fence. But it's something you'd want to check pretty regularly because, to Mark's point, they could change and you wouldn't have a way of knowing unless you're staying on top of it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important too to note that, like, where we are, there's smaller towns. You've got Springfield, and then you've got your smaller, like, suburbs. I would call them, like Ozark, Nixa, Fairgrove, those places. And so it's also important to realize, like, what your county allows if you're not in city limits, because a lot of times those are different as well.
Sure.
For instance, Ozark requires, if you live in the city limits, they require a permit, and it costs $125. Whereas,
is it really $125?
Yeah. So
it's got a bit more expensive than it was in the past.
Yeah, that jumped up. So they do, but if you live one street over and you're in Christian County, they don't require a permit, and so they just I know this because I called in. I said, hey, I've got a customer that they're really wanting this fence in relation to where the fence is at, but they don't have any kind of, they have stipulations as far as don't make it 8 foot tall, that sort of thing.
Sure.
But even in Greene County, there's no stipulation on height.
Yeah, so that's what I should have mentioned before. So yeah, if you're inside city limits, there are height restrictions on fence. But once you get out into Greene County, there aren't.
Yeah.
So an 8 foot tall fence is completely possible. We build quite a lot of them outside of city limits.
Yep.
It's going to vary depending on where you live. Whether it's the city or the county, et cetera. And here's the thing, guys, is so when I talked about this on our YouTube channel, the Joe Everest YouTube channel, I talked about it probably a month and a half, 2 months ago, on checking with your area, whatever city or county or region you live in. And, some of the feedback I got was, along the lines of, who's going to tell me what to do with my property? And you can't tell me, I paid for the property, you don't own the property. I understand. I absolutely understand. But I'm not going to put myself and our company in a position of getting in trouble with the city by violating a ordinance or regulation that we know about.
Yeah, knowingly violating.
Yeah.
That's a key. Yep.
That doesn't make any sense. No. We know that the rules are out there. And it's not for me to decide whether I agree or disagree with the rules.
Right.
They didn't ask me. I didn't have a vote in this.
Yeah.
So all my job is, or part of our job is just to know, what regulations are out there, or be able to find out what regulations are out there, and play by the rules.
Yeah.
So
yep.
Now, are there others out there that may skirt the rules? Sure.
Oh, sure.
There are 8-foot tall fences built on residential properties inside the city limits of Springfield.
Yeah.
They're there. I get it. We won't be the ones building it unless we follow the regulations.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to put us in that situation. It would be incredibly uncomfortable for my team members, whether it's you, Sarah, or the crew that's out there building it. Should inspectors show up and start asking questions about, well, I don't have this on record. You need to stop working until this happens. I need to talk to your boss. Da, 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 da. And for the homeowner, that'll be incredibly uncomfortable for the homeowner because they're saying, wait a minute, I hired a professional to build this fence. So I think it's a bad position for everyone all around to be put into.
Well, and I also think, as a homeowner, if you're ever wanting to do any sort of renovations where permits have to be pulled for your house and you have an 8-foot tall fence that doesn't have a permit, that can really put you in a bind.
Yeah.
It can put you in a bad situation where you're not able to do what you want to do. Or, what is even worse is what happens when you buy a home that already has an existing 8-foot fence.
Yeah.
That now doesn't have a permit.
Yeah, that doesn't comply with the city's ordinance and regulations.
So, while you didn't make that decision, someone did. And so, I think to your point, that's exactly why we don't without permits.
Right.
It's not a good decision for anyone involved.
It's not worth it.
Right.
Like, it's not. I understand. An extra 2 foot of privacy would be great in some scenarios. But let's also talk about that if this house behind you is 2 stories, that extra 2 foot probably isn't going to gain you total privacy.
Right.
Our house has a second floor as well, and when I get up into the kids' room, I can look straight over my fence into my neighbor's yard. And if that fence was 2 foot taller, you can still see into their yard. Now, not as much of it, but I can still look into it. Yeah. Now, did we plant, green giant trees in our back fence line to try to give ourselves some more privacy? Yep. Does that meet city codes and regulations? Yep. Oh. So there's that. Yeah,
absolutely. Things to consider.
Great subject, Mark. Yeah. I appreciate you bringing it up. No, I honestly do.
No,
I honestly do.
Good.
These are conversations that happen, and Mark, if you hadn't brought it up, we probably wouldn't have talked about it. Only because in my mind, I talked about it 2 months ago on my YouTube channel, not thinking about a lot of you guys out there watching right now probably haven't seen that video. It's 2 different channels. Yeah. So I appreciate you, Mark. I appreciate you guys bringing your fence questions.
Yeah.
Because it signals us that we ought to talk about this.
Yeah. Well, and if you have that question or comment, someone else does too. So
absolutely correct. Absolutely
always
correct.
Worth talking about for sure.
Well, guys, let's do this. Let's take Mark's comment down, and we'll ask you guys. We'll do last call for comments. And then while we do that, let's chat for one more second about the ticker. Just if those of you that are just joining us didn't hear us, Sporting Chance raffle tickets are on sale.
Yep.
So our Wingapalooza booklets are on sale as well. For the Sporting Chance tickets, you can get a hold of Sarah directly.
Absolutely.
Sarah, how do they get in touch with you?
You can email me at sarah@ozfence.com or send us a message in the Facebook group. That's perfectly fine.
You drop a comment here. You drop a comment. So Sarah and I are both on our Facebook page. So if you send a message, it comes to both of us. If you drop a comment in this video or really any video, we see those as well. Yep. Absolutely. Looks like we have a comment. Let's see.
How often do you stain fence?
Great question. Great question, Travis. So the answer is it depends. Yep. So it's going to depend on what material you stain it with. So stain and seal experts were here with us earlier. There are stain of choice. So the stain that we carry and use. But it's even going to depend based on which product of theirs we use. Yeah. Whether it depends on how thick the stain is, how much pigment it has. And here's the example I give. And stain and seal experts, if you guys actually or any of you are watching, feel free to chime in on this. But the analogy that I give it's a lot like sunscreen. So an SPF 30 will provide protection, but not as long as a SPF 60 or 75, like whatever one of the higher numbers are. Now, so the 60, 75, whatever is going to give you more protection, but it's also going to be thicker. When you apply it on, it's going to be thicker.
Makes sense, yeah.
But it's providing because sunscreen's doing the same thing as fence stain. Is this being the sacrificial layer between you and UV, the UV damage. Well, that's what we're protecting from on boards too, is UV damage. So that UV damage leads to the board's graying is kind of the visual manifestation of the damage. So the thicker the stain, you can equate that to the thicker sunscreen, and thicker sunscreen lasts longer. So SPF 30, you might reapply it every every hour. SPF 60, it might be every hour to 2 hours.
Sure.
Same thing with the stain. So if you have a fully transparent stain, you would want to reapply that at least every year, fully transparent, which is one of the reasons we don't offer a fully transparent stain, just because we know you're going to have to reapply this every year.
Yep.
So, we also have a little bit darker stains, like a cedar tone is a good one, or a chestnut's a little bit darker even than that. On those, I believe they're warranted to 2 years.
Yes.
So they've got a 2-year warranty. They recommend reapplying every 2 years so that your fence is always under warranty.
Yeah.
You keep that warranty intact on the fence stain. We also offer a darker stain, a walnut. And I believe it has a 3-year warranty on it. Yep. So, and you get into the same thing with deck stains too. Depending on how dark the stain is, you get more protection. So, Travis, to answer your question, it's going to depend on A, the product you use, B, how dark that product is. On my fence, we just did a fence at my house because it was embarrassing that the fence guy's fence was not in good shape. So we replaced the fence at our house, and I actually used a mahogany, which
beautiful,
looks so nice. It's a dark stain. I understand a lot of folks don't like dark stains. They want a natural look.
Sure.
Understandable. I want to prolong the life of the fence.
Yeah.
So I'll put SPF 75 on that fence. It'll look a little bit darker, but it's going to give a lot more protection. So, but if you're using a quality product, Travis, I would say probably every 2 to 3 years, depending on how dark that fence stain is.
Yeah. I think that's a really good rule of thumb. Absolutely. All right. Oh, we're back to the crabs. Perfect.
Unbelievable. Brent, thank you. We really do appreciate you. Even if you weren't sending us awesome crab.
Sure.
I would still say
week
thank
after
you.
Week.
But now I'm saying thank you.
Oh no. Speaking about bribery. Here we go.
Husker game tickets for next season. Will you come put in my fence? I know it's a long shot.
You're talking to the King of Huskers.
You're talking to a Husker fan here, Susan. So here's the thing: if you're talking to me directly, I'd be like, "Well, let's make a deal. Let's talk about this." But in all reality, like as a company,
I guess not.
If I can put my words out, I'd have a hard time paying our bills with Husker tickets. I don't think City Utilities takes that, and our suppliers. So while we appreciate the offer, because Husker tickets are incredibly hard to get.
That's true.
They are amazingly hard to find. So while that is an incredibly generous offer, that I am going to go tell my friend right now about this, because as much of a Husker fan he is, Dylan, one of my best friends, is like the Husker fan.
Yeah, he's going to hook up an auger and head your way, Susan. He's ready.
He's like, all right, you just let me know how to get a hold of Susan, and I will figure this out. Yeah. But yeah, awesome. So Susan, thank you for the offer, but we will have to decline.
Enjoy Husker Nation for us.
No, I'm incredibly jealous of you because I know you have access to these tickets.
Right? No joke.
So, Sarah, what do you got planned this weekend?
Not a lot of anything. I'm going to love every second of it. Let's do some stuff around the house. It's kind of been neglected the last few weekends.
Sure.
Do that.
Now you guys did some moving.
Yes.
A few weeks ago?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yep. So we finally, everything moved in. So now it's just kind of the decluttering phase of everything.
Getting settled in.
Yes.
That's the big thing.
Yeah. Gotta winterize some campers. So probably do that this weekend too. But that's about it. What about you guys?
I don't know. To be honest with you. No, I do know. Tomorrow is Macy's birthday.
That's right.
So her birthday is November 21st every single year. This will be her 12th birthday.
Yeah.
And so her and Taylor have plans with a few of her friends that they are going to get their nails done.
Oh.
And then
I like it.
So the original plan was, all right. So I feel bad because usually for Macy's birthday we go on a family trip. So last year, we're really big Disney people. And the great thing about being Disney people with a daughter whose birthday is in late November, that is the best time to go to Disney because they are discounting everything. I mean, so her birthday is the week before the week before Thanksgiving, that holiday. So not a lot of people are planning family vacations the week before Thanksgiving. So travel's down. So what does Disney do? They say, well, I will make it worth your while. If you will travel down here and come see the mouse, we will make it worth it. And so usually we get, discounted hotels that come with free meal plans and, on and on. Airlines are offering discounts as well because a lot of people aren't traveling the week before Thanksgiving, but they still have flights to keep full. That's in normal years. So usually, whether it's we go to Disney, last year we did Disney Cruise because they were discounted significantly.
That's awesome.
So we had a good time. This year, we can't do that.
Can't do that, yeah.
So for a few reasons. One is we have a pandemic.
Yep.
And that, depending on who you listen to, is catching on again. And so that's a concern because we've got a little one coming.
That's true.
We've got a little one coming pretty quick. Either, anywhere from the last week in December to the first week in January. So even if this were a normal year, we probably wouldn't be doing traveling right now anyway.
Right.
That's a very long-winded answer to say, yeah. So Macy has plans to get her nails done with Taylor and a couple of her friends. So then back to the house, and they're going to have a pizza slumber party, I believe.
Oh,
okay. I hope I'm not giving away answers. I hope I'm not giving away secrets. But she should be doing school stuff right now anyway. Macy, if you're watching this, get back to school.
Joe has a question about Macy's nails.
All right. You would think so, right? So I thought we agreed as a family that our family colors were going to be orange. Now, we did not have that conversation, apparently, and no one agreed to this. But I certainly thought it went without saying that we are orange. We are team orange through and through.
Yeah.
Joe, I have a feeling they're not going to be orange. They're already... I used to have a rule about Christmas, and it was no Christmas before Thanksgiving.
Sure.
Give each holiday its due respect. And to that point, Sarah, that I'm going to roll around to here in a minute, Thanksgiving song. Anyway, very strict rules. One holiday at a time. No holiday gets the button line. Period. End of story. Let's be fair to each and every holiday. Well, in our house, baby Josie wanted Christmas. I was told.
Oh, I believe it.
So there is now Christmas all throughout our house. So Joe, I would guess these nails will not be orange. I'm very certain these nails will not be orange. And I'm guessing they'll probably be red or some like holiday Christmas-esque color. If I were to guess.
I'm sure you're right.
I usually am.
We're Florida tonight. I'm jealous.
So Travis, listen to this guy. He goes to Disney more than anybody I know.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So one of his daughters, I believe she's still there. I know for a fact she did the college exchange program.
Oh, cool.
That's not the correct term for it.
Yeah, but I know you're.
Yeah, the college program where they work at Disney.
Neat.
And so every time I turn around, this guy's going to Florida to go to Disney.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, I only get to go once a year. And now we haven't been to Disney World in several years. It's like, I'm going to go. It's going to be like a whole new place. I need to go.
Yeah.
But all right now, and Josie, we're not going to take a baby to Disney.
True.
So
yeah,
we've probably got a couple years till we get to go back.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on at Disney that I haven't even got to see. So this isn't going to be the right word. It's not Pandora. What is the Avatar? Yeah. What's it called though? It's called something.
Pandora is like their.
Is it
their realm? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So,
but I don't know what the actual part of the park is called.
Yeah, but it's basically like the Pandora world.
Yes.
Didn't get to see that, and it's going to look completely different than the last time we were there because it's been. Well, I bet it's been 4 years since I've been.
And they also did the big Star Wars expansion.
Yeah,
that was new last year.
That's at Hollywood Studios, is that right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so because they had always had the Star Wars experience there, but yeah, they really amped that up. So the last time we were there was when Taylor was pregnant. We had just found out that she was pregnant with Jackson. Yeah. So it's been 4 years since we've been. But anyway, hopefully, and this pandemic business will be done by the time we're ready to go next time. And
we were supposed to go this past May.
Yeah.
So that got canceled.
Yeah. So basically, Travis, we don't want to hear about your trips to Florida, specifically Disney.
But also share lots of photos, all of them.
Yeah, we will live vicariously through your Facebook, and we want to see everyone in Mickey ears because that's usually what we're doing.
Yeah.
But still
a little angry about it.
Yeah. But it's
We're happy for you, just not for us.
Right. Yeah, we're more mad at ourselves that we can't be the ones going.
Yeah, a lot of jealousy.
We want to be wearing
a lot
Mickey
of jealousy
ears.
happening here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would even, here's the thing. I used to like not want to even wear like, because, we did the family t-shirts. I'm like, seriously?
I don't want to do that.
I would wear a family t-shirt right now if we could go. Put me in a shirt, put me in some ears. I won't even complain about it a little bit. I just want to go.
Wow. You heard it here, folks.
That's
saying a lot.
Anyway. All right. Thanks, Travis.
No, I do not.
Great question, Joe.
Okay. So
phenomenal question. I'm glad you asked.
That is something that is in the works.
Oh, okay.
They will not be
Heard it here first.
Fluorescent orange. They will be
small
more
victories.
of like a lighter burnt orange, maybe like a melon.
That's
color. Yeah,
one
still
step at a time.
Clinging on to fall a little bit.
One step at a time. Yeah. We'll get there, Joe.
Yep.
One day it will be blaze orange. Just not yet. We just have to ease into that.
I'll send you photos, Joe. You'll be the first to see.
Very good. Well, guys, let's talk about this. So we still got 6 people with us, and there's going to be some folks that watch.
Sure.
So we have a new position opening up at Ozark Fence.
Yes, we do.
And it's something that we're happy about.
It is.
Happy and sad. Like, I don't want to say that. But so Bethany, who's our rock star.
Yep. Customer service rock star.
Technically, like the job title is like office assistant or administrative assistant or something, but that's not right because this girl does a lot in our office.
Yes.
Their family is growing.
Yeah.
So she, they've talked about it and they've decided that she's going to be at home for a little while with the little ones, and I'm incredibly happy for her.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
that's so worthwhile.
Yep.
But that means that we've got a spot opening up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So we are starting the hunt today for a replacement for Bethany, and it will not be easy.
No.
Because how do you replace rock stars?
That's true. Big shoes to fill, for sure.
Huge shoes to fill. So, but if anybody out there knows someone preferably with construction office experience, so this job does all sorts of stuff. I mean, it answers like a multi-line phone system, sends and receives replies to emails, also handles kind of our residential sales. Bethany's good about handling retail sales.
I was like, is it my position?
Yeah, newsflash there. We're also filling your position. No, she handles our retail sales. Our material sales. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. She's great at that.
So, but and then just kind of helps us around the office.
Yeah, a lot of organization, that sort of thing.
Also organization, because when you work with me, I have no organization. I have like anti-organizational skills. Yeah. So like you got to try to keep that straight. But no, so organization's a plus. And really, the great thing about Bethany is she's always willing to jump in and help on any sorts of projects. Anywhere. So it's at least like 3 times a day we get, well, what else can I be helping you with? Like, is there anything else? So lots of that. But basically, dependability is incredibly important. I mean, so it's a full-time position, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30 is what we say, with a half-hour lunch course in the middle of the day. And it's a full-time, long-term position. So we don't fill temporary positions. They're always long-term, even through the winter. We fence all winter long. So our office is open all winter long. And so the starting pay is going to be dependent on experience, of course.
Sure.
For more information, you can find it on our Facebook page.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. And that's
you can apply through. Yeah. Yep. So if you know anyone that is a rock star in a construction office, please send them our way. We'd love to talk with them. Have them go through our Facebook page and submit their information there. Our plan is to receive applications over the weekend. Maybe, hopefully, it ends during the weekend. But if it goes into the next week, we'll still accept applications.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'd like to do some interviews next week and really hit the ground running. So that Bethany's agreed to stay on until and train the incoming person and everything she does. Yeah. And then take a slow step back. Yeah. So Bethany, if you're watching this, I know Bethany likes to watch sometime. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you so much and everything you've done. It'll be a huge hole.
It will be.
So the incoming Bethany will have huge shoes to fill.
That's true.
So
very true.
But if you know somebody like that, please send them our way. We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't see any more questions or comments or otherwise.
All right.
So this is where we say goodbye.
We got to get back to work.
That's right. So for Ozark Fence, I'm Joe Everest.
Sarah Everest, CEO.
We'll see you not next week. We'll see you week after next.
Week after next.
Week after next for an Ask a Fence Gal live in 2 weeks.
Yeah. We'll see you guys then. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Bye, guys.
Bye.